All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Sports Coverage with me, Adi and Rishi. Guys, just a quick chat on India's number three situation. It's an interesting one as we head into this four test at Manchester. So there's a lot of conversation. There's a lot of questions. I know India did lose the previous tested Lords, but it was well fought. Keeping that in mind, are there some serious changes that we need to be considering heading into this next test? That's the question, Rishi. Should India be considering something very serious or drastic at this stage, like shaking up the batting order? Or do you think, in your opinion, that's not as drastic and it's okay?
I mean, bro, I feel we have had a few players who have not been contributing, and I was on the same point the previous test, the test before that, and the test maybe the first test, right after the first test when the decisions were made. I was like, this is quite baffling. It didn't make sense, and you guys know very much with who I'm talking about. It like I just don't understand why you would play Sai Sudharsan in one test and then go on to drop him for the next two without any particular reason, when others who are clearly at the latter stages of their career are failing miserably, yet been given 2 3 tests. Like, dude, like that is, it just simply cannot be explained. Like, I don't understand why they are doing that. And you can't even say he looked convincing, because half the drives he was like Karun Nair was hitting was going in the air. The like you place an extra cover that's going right down the extra cover's throat. And I just don't get it. Like, it's not like Sai Sudarshan is terrible at one down. If needed, if really needed, he can play opening and KL Rahul can come one down. But okay, you want to play him one down, it still makes sense. It still makes a lot more sense than playing somebody like Karun Nair, who, again, if we are to go with the same batting lineup, I would be very disappointed. And if the same thing repeats, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because we all knew what was coming. So yeah, for me, that would be the primary concern. That like for me, it's a clear swap between KL Rahul and sorry, not KL Rahul, Karun Nair and Sai Sudarshan.
Damn, bro. Rahul, what do you have for this, bro?
Okay, first
Do
of
you
all,
think
bro, like, bro, like, okay, let's just be fair to the guy. I think, yeah, okay, Rishi is right in the sense that the performances have not come. Fine, fair enough, performances have not come. But at the end of the day, bro, you're saying his drives are not. I don't think that's true. I think he's looking very good whenever when he gets like a 30 or a 40 or whatever, gets those good runs. Looks actually pretty good, but somehow has found himself to get to positions where like he's just not doing it. And I think at this point, maybe there are going to be questions asked of him, but I just want to back him. I just want to say I think he needs to get one more game, I guess.
didn't you say give him two tests loss last time though? You were like, I
No, no, I
I think we
agree.
had
I
a
agree. So I said give him three tests. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I think if it comes down to me, I would still play him. But if he is dropped, you can't blame the selectors, I guess, because of the fact that the runs haven't come per se.
so okay,
Yeah, but
Rahul.
at what cost? Like, our batting is clearly failing. So
Mm.
would you rather like give a batsman an extra test just to try and resuscitate his career, which entirely depends on one
It's not
innings?
about
That average is
Rishi, it's
holding
not
up
about his
because of one
career.
innings over the team performance. Like, we are
No, I
desperate
don't
need
think.
of runs.
No, I don't think it's about his career. That's the point. I don't think it's about Karun Nair's career per se. It's about India doing well. I still think Karun Nair is the best position player to play in that position. It's not about bringing or reviving his career or whatever that or whatever you guys think it is. But yeah, I just think he's the best suited player even to play in this batting lineup because I don't trust Sai Sudarshan. I don't trust any of the other kids. So I would still say Karun Nair because he's looked good for whatever he scored.
I
What's
mean,
your
I
take,
feel like
Adi?
in Lords he got out pretty poorly, and I don't think he played that well. See, the thing with me and Karun Nair is I don't have a problem with him as a batter. I really rate him. Like overall, he is a guy I would like to watch him and blossom. In an international career, whatever he plays. Like it's a nice story where he's come back. After like what 8 years of not 7 years of not playing for India, etc. But we have to also be very factually fair to the players who are there in the team. It's not only about Sai Sudarshan or anyone else. It's about can Karun Nair play number three well enough for India? That should be the question. I don't think it's a question about is Sai Sudarshan a better player than Karun Nair. I think the question should be is he the right number three right now for India? And from what he's played in the 2 games of as a number three, I don't think it's been good enough to make him, you know, play the next game as a number three. And it comes down to the fact that in his test career, when he played for India, it's been 5, 6, and I think a bit of 7 if I'm not wrong. Even for his Ranji, he plays 4, 5, 6. That's where he's played generally. So I think India should just make him play after punt. For me, again, it comes down to you need experienced players in this team. At least in the batting order, you do need experienced players. Because if the young guys like Gill and Jaiswal, I feel like they're streaky. They might have 1, 2 good games. And when their highs are very high, like for Gill, we saw what he did. Jaiswal highs, you know how he can go. He can go for a double hundred. But in the lows, it's also a very huge low. You've seen it with Jaiswal and Gill. If they're in the lows, they get out at very low scores. And that's why I think with punt in the team, I would like some experience head. And I think that's where Karun Nair comes over anyone else. And I would rather have him at number 5, number 6, whatever it is. I think I would keep him there just for the fact that I have that extra batter. And I think India needs that extra batter. Even against England at Lords, I really feel like if India had an extra batter, they would have won that game. I think it's the past 2 tests we've seen like not past two, the first test and the third test we've seen that India has kind of needed an extra batter. The first test, the problem was Shardul Thakur was not good enough to bat. Like we had that conversation then. Coming down now, I think we're having a conversation of how like is Karun Nair good or not. I think it's unfair to talk about Karun Nair being good or not. I just think, bro, it's unfortunate. Like they just put him as a number 3 because they don't think Sai Sudharsan can play in this team, and then they bought in an extra bowler of Washi and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Like I think that's what's happened. And maybe the conversation could go like, is Nitish Kumar Reddy or Washi the right batters you need on a day 4, day 5, and you need runs, or would you have a Karun Nair as a number 5, number 6 on a day 5 at what happened in Lords? And if it comes down to that question, I would always back Karun Nair at this moment. Like you give me 10 out of 10 times, I would say I would have Karun Nair in that situation. So I think that should what.
Sorry, I just want to say this about the whole situation. Bro, okay, fine. Yeah, I understand that even if I get Adi's take, which is that, okay, even if you don't want to have Karun Nair at 3, you play him somewhere in that Indian batting order, that's fine. But my problem again is, unless you're playing KL Rahul as a number 3, India doesn't have a solid number 3 option. Okay, and in this situation, Rishi, you're saying Sai Sudharsan, I know you're backing Sai Sudharsan as India's next number 3. Again, it's just me personally. I would rather bank on something I have seen and I can believe in, and that's why I'm saying Karun Nair and not Sai Sudharsan.
What have you seen, Rahul? What have you seen?
See, that's what I'm saying. Whenever he's played as Knox, he's always looked good. He's always looked good for his 30. He's always looked good for his 40. Now you're talking about Sai Sudharsan. We haven't really seen in Test cricket. It's an unknown.
In one test.
And for me, if you want to take that step with Sai Sudharsan, I would rather have that be in an India series at home rather than in England where the series is 2-1 down. The pressure is going to be on him. Karun Nair is 35, 36, whatever, 34, I think. It's okay. But for a youngster, if he comes in at this position and he fails, I don't think it's a good look on him, and I don't think it's a good look on the team. I would rather have Sai Sudharsan, if they want to make that change, do it in the next series. But now, because you've gone with Karun Nair, I'd much rather have India go ahead with him for the rest of the series. But even if they don't, and if they make a change at this point, I kind of understand it.
But Rahul, the point is, I think we're having this discussion today because I think it comes down to, it looks like it doesn't work. For me personally, I don't think the batting lineup overall, not just Karun Nair, I'm not going to point it at one player, but just overall the balance, I don't think it works well enough. Because that's what I'm saying, the thing with guys like Gill and Jaiswal, they're very streaky, and if they have a low day, you need someone to come and dig in. And that's what I'm trying to say. I would really trust Karun Nair to come at number 5, number 6. When the situation is very iffy, when the situation is very like you need to dig in and play very smartly, I think that's where Karun Nair is much better. And I feel like I can trust him as a number 5, number 6, where he will stay there if it's even at the end of the day, if you need to play last 5 overs. I think he will be
have a lot more confidence. Yeah, exactly. You just have a lot more confidence in him because I feel like it's more of a familiarity thing. The fact that you've seen him, you know what you're going to get from him.
But no, my point is, but I'm alluding to the point that if Karun Nair is, for example, Karun Nair was a number 5, number 6, I think he would have come and played even the end of the day on 4th day in Lords, for example, my opinion. And if he's there, I would have actually had confidence in him to stay out the day, finish it without him getting out. Like maybe it's because I just back his skill and talent. Like that's the point. But would I, if it was someone else, maybe Nitish Kumar Reddy, I would also back him. If it was someone like Pant, I think we all were scared. If it was like, okay, Pant comes in, we might be scared of, him playing or not. But the whole point is, if the situation comes where, Pant is batting with Nitish Kumar Reddy, I really think the pressure will be there on both where they could get out. If I have Pant and someone like Karun Nair, I just have more confidence because I know Karun Nair will stick in and dig in if it's needed. And that's the point. I think the conversation we're having today is because we know that the number three spot is still a problem. If it hasn't worked with Karun Nair at number three, come on, to be fair, he's played 2 games. He's had 4 innings, and it's not been the toughest conditions where, he's had to, dig up like the toughest conditions and had to fight the toughest conditions. I think even Lord's the second innings, I think it was just a poor wicket. You have to give it to that. And I feel like that pressure, if he was batting under a bit more pressure and responsibility at number 6, I think Karun Nair would have played it differently and actually played better. Just my opinion. And bro, again, coming out in the number 3 conversation, I don't think it's fair for us to only talk about Sai Sudharsan, because if I just pull up like your first class stats or Ranji stats, it's not the greatest number of Sai Sudharsan. Okay, like he's played 30 matches, he scored 19,1987 runs, and his average is 38. And 38 average as an opener in Ranji cricket, I don't think it merits the best shout to be like, okay, this guy deserves to play in India.
That's what exactly, that's the point. So that's
Because
why
I
I'm
think
asking
I
Rishi.
think there is a bit of conversation where you can have like, even if we think he's a good enough player based on what he's played in IPL, what he's played in white ball, I'm not going to deny it. I think he's a great talent. But if you're going to talk about first class Ranji Test cricket, I think there is a shout for someone like Abhimanyu Ishwaran also, who, bro, he averages 48 in Ranji Trophy. He plays the same position as Sai Sudarshan. There's no difference in terms of anything. He's had more experience. He's played 100 Test matches in Ranji Trophy. It's not like he's a newbie in terms of playing Test cricket. And I think the same way Karun Nair has been rewarded in terms of Test cricket, comeback, etc. If not, even if Abhimanyu Ishwaran gets or not, that's a second conversation. But I think we have to have a discussion where we can't only put all our eggs in one basket of Sai Sudarshan, because you never know if it's going to work or not. Like you just never know. Like he's not played enough Test cricket also, and I think we took him into the Australia Test series. We didn't really give him a go. It was very unfortunate because I remember they played Devdutt Padikkal in the first Test series, and again, I'm not taking out of anyone's talent, but if you're looking at every player in the team, I think Abhimanyu Ishwaran would have wanted a start in Australia based on what he's done in Ranji Trophy. Like you can't ignore 48 average and give Devdutt a
No,
start just because of.
Again, I think that's a fair comment. Now, Rishi, like again, even if you're saying Sai Sudharsan, whatever comes in place of Karun Nair, what is it that warrants for that change specifically? What is it that tells you that Sai Sudharsan should be given a chance? Again, say over like somebody like an Abhimanyu Ishwaran who has done it in Ranji cricket, because we haven't seen Sai Sudharsan in Test cricket, and Adi mentioned his numbers in first class cricket, not the
So
sort of numbers that will get you in
primarily,
India.
it is only because of he has started the first game and then you went on to drop him without any proper explanation. Had he not been given the first game, had Abhimanyu Ishwaran been given the first game, I would have had no problem
Okay.
in bringing
That's
back Abhimanyu Ishwaran right now. But the simple fact that you gave him a chance, put him in the spotlight, and after the 2 dismissals, now I'm not going to sit and defend that it was unfortunate or everything. It was poor batting strokes that got him out, but it is what it is. And now, just solely based on that innings, you're jeopardizing his potential immediate career. Like, we know how it works. Now, if somebody else were to do okay, that means he's going to face a lengthy spell outside. So, when you're doing that, you have to be accountable and give him
Bro,
another few games.
Rishi, one thing with this argument, I'll tell you. I think
Hmm.
with these youngsters, I think it is more of a safeguarding than disruption of the career. I feel like guys like Abhimanyu Ishwaran, I think guys like Karun Nair, this is like the one shot they have to play international cricket. I feel like it's more about, it's like if these guys don't play well this, or like if they don't get play well in the chance they get because of their age, I really don't think they have a comeback into the test team ever, like international cricket ever. Like I don't think if Karun Nair, for example, had a very poor test series now, and maybe let's say West Indies, South Africa, he doesn't play well. I don't think he's ever going to get a shot back into the Indian team. I think the same with Abhimanyu Ishwaran. Like if he doesn't perform when he gets a chance, I don't think he'll ever get a chance back later on in their career.
If that was the
I mean,
case, Adi, we should have played Abhimanyu Ishwaran in the first game. Like
dude,
he more than enough
that's
deserves it. His numbers speak for himself.
that is my point. I think the conversation. I'm not going to sit and say. For me, the conversation is I really think India need to have a change at number 3, regardless of who comes in. If it's Sai Sudharsan, I'm okay to back him. If it's Abhimanyu Ishwaram, I would actually be delighted to see something new. And it's fine. Like he has his number to back. Like I don't think it's a grave mistake or like we're going to like put Sai Sudharshan's career into danger because he still has to learn a lot of cricket, bro. Like he's played 30 test games, first class test games. It's not like he's not played enough to be like, okay, this guy doesn't have time anymore to play. Like he has the time to learn, he has the time to play. We've seen with Gill, like from he started playing test at 2020. I think he's come to his groove right now in 2025. It took him 4 or 5 years to at least get a grip on test cricket. So I think it's fine. We've seen Gill also dropped. Like I don't think like even in Australia he did get dropped. Like it's okay to get dropped, but
The
I think
hype
it's
and fame around Gill is different. Like he was always
no,
built
but
up to be
no,
the
but my
next big
point
thing.
is like these guys are young. My point is these guys are young and they can still, bro. Like Sai Sudarshan, let's say Rishi, you drop him for next series, okay, against West Indies. It's not like he doesn't have a chance to come back. He's like what 21, 22, 23. Like he has so much time to like develop his game and come back if he ever wants to come back. Are you saying sitting here and saying Karun Nair has the opportunity to come back in Test cricket future if he doesn't play now? Like I'm sure he doesn't have the chance. Even with Abhimanyu Ishwaran, like if they don't play well this series, or like whenever they get the chance, they're never going to get a chance ever. And that time, bro, let's say Karun Nair plays, Abhimanyu Ishwaran plays, and they both really don't work out. Then you can literally put that pedestal on someone like Sai Sudarshan and say, okay, now it's literally your position to play. Or again, if you want to put KL Rahul at number 3, me personally, I think that's his best spot, but it is what it is. And the conversation of Abhimanyu Ishwaran not playing, I think it's just a matter of the coaching stuff and like captains. Like, I think if it came down to us, at least I would like to see him play. Like, I really think for me, it's more of being fair or not. We've had this conversation with Karun Nair. You've given him a debut based on his Ranji Trophy stats. And in terms of Sai Sudarshan, you did the opposite, where you didn't let Abhimanyu Ishwaran get a debut, but you let Sai Sudarshan get a debut based on his IPL stats, in my opinion, the way he played in IPL, rather than the way he's played in first class. Because let's be honest, if Sai Sudarshan didn't have a good IPL, the way he batted, I don't think he would have been in the test team ever. If he wouldn't be in the test team. And if he was not in the test team, who would be our number 3 then? Like, who would it be? Like, would you call someone like Pujara Rane back? You can't. Like, so who would it be? I think it would have been Abhimanyu Ishwaran regardless. You know what I mean? And I think he just deserves a chance. Like I want to see how he plays in the international cricket. It doesn't matter what works. Like for me, I just think India has a number 3 problem, which I don't think Karun Nair is a national number 3. And I would just like anyone like Sai Sudarshan or Abhimanyu Ishwaran to just come into that position.
Yeah, I think a similar note. I think if Karun Nair is to lose his place, or if he's to sort of drop lower in the order and bat in place of say a Nitish Kumar or a Washington Sundar, then in that case, even I think I would want to see somebody like an Abhimanyu Ishwaran over Sai Sudarshan, simply for the fact that again his numbers have been brilliant in first class cricket, and I would like to see again somebody who's rewarded for their first class efforts. It's that part of the game is almost lost in today's world where we're going to the IPL,
Right.
but what about the guys who are actually working super hard at in first class level? I think if there is a conversation to say Karun Nair misses out or like drops down in the order, I would like to see Abhimanyu Ishwaran over Sai Sudarshan, more experience. Again, lot more games, lot more runs, and somebody who's really grinded it out at the first class level. Also, captains Tamil Nadu, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Who?
same.
Abhimanyu Ishwaran.
Yeah.
Bruv. I don't think so.
I think he's a captain, even if I'm not wrong. But do you guys think, bro? I think for me
First of
personally, I
all,
think
Abhimanyu Ishwaran plays for Bengal, not Tamil Nadu.
yeah, West Bengal. He plays
West
for West
Bengal,
Bengal.
West Bengal. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing for me. My conversation It's more about solidifying, your lower order. I still think, bro, if you look at the Lord's test, if your lower order was solid, you could have saved that test. You know what I mean? If you have to be honest, if that lower order was solid enough to play out the 196, they could have played it out. I think we just didn't have strong lower order, and that's why we collapsed to an extent. And I think India should try to fix that by pushing, and I think the solution is pushing Karun Nair back to number uh, six. Like I think he'll play number six
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
even if,
yeah,
yes, I don't think he had a fair chance, properly chance to play. And I think he if it was a different if Karun Nair played the like what the second test as a number five or number six, he would have scored more runs, and I'm 100% sure he would have. I remember the first test. The reason he came in was it was very flimsy, kind of like blurry kind of situation where Karun Nair came in the first test. It was a matter of just hit. It's okay. Like we don't need we they're already racked up a lot of runs. When Karun Nair came in the first innings, he just came into just smack. It's fine. If you're getting out, it's fine. Like we don't need you to defend and play the balls. I think that's where his national game never came out, and I think that's the a bit of injustice happened to him. Like I think it's just a matter of him playing number six. He has to like solidify that. I just think if he plays his national game at number six or number five, I think he'll be good. And for me, I would rather have, as I said, someone at a top order. I just think a new top order, you're getting that extra batter. Like for me, I don't think Nitish Kumar Reddy at this moment it's there for him. And even with Washington Sundar, it's just about situations, and I don't think I can trust them enough to be like, okay, these guys would do it. So for me, at least, it's a matter of more than top order. I think if Karuna just goes back to a normal lower order, then I think India's set in terms of their batting a bit more.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Rishi, if I think Rishi just lost his camera for a bit. Okay, last question, Rishi, to you. Would you
Hmm.
have Karun Nair drop from number three, happy at with him playing at 5 or 6, or that's also an issue? Sorry, 6 or 7.
So if he has to be played at 5 or 6, who sits out?
6 or 7, one of Washington or Nitish Kumar. I think
So I think
maybe
one of
Washington,
Oshie or Nitish Kumar.
maybe Washington for the Manchester test because you're expecting the ball to swing quite a bit.
I
But
mean,
but but
yeah, fair.
but
If
wait. But I think that's a different conversation itself
Yeah,
because you'll have to again go to the extent of okay, will Bumrah play or not? How will the bowling combination be that game? Do you need an extra
that,
pacer?
oh, by the
fair.
way, Ashdeep is out. I don't know how much that of a difference that makes to this one. Ashdeep is out, and Anshul Kamboj has been
Yeah,
called up for the
I don't think it really
Focus.
makes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
No,
yeah.
but Bumrah missing does make. Is he going to miss? I think that's a different conversation. But okay,
Bumrah
yeah.
might end up playing. Anyways, yeah, you're right. It's a completely different conversation. But this is an interesting one. Just how this whole thing is going to pan out. I don't know why, but my gut says they won't change Karun Nair from three. But anyways, we'll have to wait and watch to see what happens in Manchester. But yeah, that's
You're
the
saying
big
you
conversation.
don't. Are you saying you're happy with this batting lineup and you don't want an extra batter in that batting lineup?
Do
For
see
example,
in general for
going
me whenever no, like personally whenever I go into a test series, I don't want to see many changes. I just want to play with the same
bro,
11. I want to
take all
bat
the
the same 11
no, leave
in
all
the
that.
same order.
Okay, fine. I'm saying hypothetically, leave everything
Hmm.
about changes or not. Let's be very objective about this current batting order, the lineup. Are you saying you're confident with this batting lineup overall? Let's if you not even just next test, you're going tomorrow anywhere in the world. Are you confident with this batting lineup, or would you say, yeah, this batting lineup maybe needs an extra batter, like just for
No,
the sake of
I'm not confident because of the fact that there are a lot of unknowns. So like it's not like whoever is in this team, apart from a couple, are quite young, inexperienced players, and that's why I'm uncertain about it. It's not that I don't have faith in their talent. It's just the fact that I haven't seen. It's not a Dravid, Lakshman, Tendulkar, Ganguly where you've seen so many years of them that you're so confident about it. It's just the fact that I haven't seen enough of them, and that's why I'm a little less confident.
besides,
But
I think when
yeah.
it comes to domestic games, it's gonna be we're gonna do more than okay. We like with this lineup. I don't think it's gonna be that concerning. I
Mhm.
think the question comes when we start touring these top
Right.
nations. I think that's when. And to be fair, like
also
again,
one
I think
more
Rahul
thing.
is more.
Wait. Sorry to I just remembered. What about Punt? Is he fit for the upcoming test? Like,
That's true. Actually, it's interesting. They haven't released the squad yet, so we'll have to wait for that.
has there
So
been
yeah,
any reports, anything like that about him?
I'm not too sure, dude.
I mean, if Pant does miss out, I don't think we'll have that big of a downgrade in Jurel,
No,
like
but
from
if Punt
which
misses
bat
out, you don't
he
have a
will
number
be.
five. No, Rishi, but if Punt misses out, you don't have a national number five there.
Yeah, you probably then play Karun Nair at 5 or
Then
then
you
when
have to play
At
Karun
number
Nair.
5.
yeah, they would play
Mm.
Karun Nair then. So that I mean, it's an interesting one. That's the thing. I think there are a lot of unanswered questions we still don't know about, based on which there'll be changes here and there. But yeah, I think just going into this one, it's always an interesting conversation to have, especially with how Karun Nair's form has been. But yeah, guys, thanks for that. As we head closer to this Manchester set test, it's going to be an interesting conversation. A lot of unknowns. Adi mentioned Jasprit Bumrah, Rishabh Pant with the injury. A lot of things could change heading into that. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know who you think should fit in at number 3. Is it going to be Karun Nair? Is it supposed to be somebody else? But yeah, do let us know. And always like and share the video. Subscribe to Sports Company. And we will see you soon. Good night. Bye.
Chalo, chalo, I'm cutting, guys. Bye bye.